You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia. In Wharton, County Sheriff's deputies took a Victoria man into custody. 23-year-old Donald Gustone was charged with human smuggling. The arrest warrant came out of Kenny County.
The body of a missing girl was found near Livingston. Today, police confirmed that 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham was found in the Trinity River near U.S. Highway 59 after water levels were lowered. Authorities located the girl's body with a substantial amount of evidence provided by witnesses' cell phone video, surveillance video, and several points of interest provided by the person of interest who is in jail on an unrelated charge.
Based on all of the evidence that law enforcement has collected, they are in the process of preparing the appropriate arrest warrants for Don Stephen McDougal. At this time, we believe the appropriate arrest warrant is going to be for capital murder in the death of Audrey Cunningham. He is currently still in jail under an unrelated felony charge here.
Audrey Cunningham was missing since last Thursday after she left for the bus stop with Don McDougal, who was the last person to see her. Her body will be transported to the Harris County Medical Examiner's office to determine the cause of death.
Now here's more details on Don Stephen McDougal. Police say he had a long criminal history. Court documents show he was convicted in 2010 of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and sentenced to 4 years in prison. That document reported he was convicted of enticing a child 3 years earlier, and in 2009 he was convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon again. The Polk County District Attorney's Office is charging McDougal after the recovery of 11-year-old Audrey Cunningham's body. A 26-year-old man in custody for 2 separate stabbings in Arizona is being eyed in the death of a 38-year-old woman at a hotel in New York City. Police arrested the suspect in Arizona on Sunday. They say he made statements linking himself to a string of assaults on women. Detectives are now looking at unsolved crimes in both Florida and Texas, where the suspect has lived. Several of the crimes involve women who work as escorts. The NYPD says it is working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for extradition. Now, school police and administrators at a San Antonio high school are investigating the death of a teaching assistant. School officials say 73-year-old Alfred Jimenez, also known as Mr. Alfred, was in the middle of interacting with a student when he fell to the floor and sustained an injury to his head. They could not get into details about his interaction with that student. Jimenez was then rushed to a hospital where he remains under critical condition, and the incident remains under investigation.
Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Mac and I were talking earlier tonight. The record low temperature for this date, 26 degrees, set 3 years ago in the polar plunge.
How can we forget?
What a difference 3 years has made, Mac.
Yeah, I happen to have that number. There you go. What that was that 2021? Where were we? 2021. Shivering. It was 26, but of course, remember, we went below freezing for almost 5 to 7 days. Today we got up to 79, and that compares to 70 as the average high temperature. So we're 9 degrees above. It's warmer than normal. The 45 this morning was close, but tonight the low will only be about 60. So yeah, it's very spring-like. It's way ahead of the calendar, and we're going to see some fog by sunrise. But you'll get to enjoy the sunshine tomorrow, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later on. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. Victoria City Council hosted a meeting with an added item on the agenda this evening. Dwayne Crocker was sworn into his new position as Mayor of Victoria.
25 News reporter Adarius McCormick spoke with the newest mayor about his inauguration. Adarius, how'd that go?
Dwayne Crocker stepped into his new role as mayor this evening after he was elected in the special election on February 3rd.
I, Dwayne Crocker,
do solemnly
swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties.
Former Mayor Jeff Bachnight and several other community leaders helped welcome Crocker. The new mayor thanks not only everyone in attendance, but also he wants to thank the community for their consistent support and trust in him.
It's just such an honor to have this opportunity. You know, humbled by the trust that the citizens put in me. Very excited to be working with this council. It's a great group.
Crocker explained the first item on his agenda is the council's March 1st workshop. There, they'll discuss their capital improvement projects for the next few years. These could include projects like fixing roads or the construction downtown. Also, the meeting covered the big events happening for the city's bicentennial, so Crocker will stay busy working on that as well. Don and Karina, back to you.
Darius, thank you. Michael Cloud wants to remain serving the Crossroads as U.S. Representative for District 27. Congressman Cloud, like the rest of the GOP in the House, disagrees with President Biden's plans for border security. Cloud also told us how important it was for the House to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
It was really important to do that because we haven't had a secretary who's so belligerently, willfully doing everything they can to obfuscate the law. This isn't just malfeasance. This isn't just not doing good at your job. This is actual willful, intentional, doing everything you can to subvert the clear intention of Congress as written in the laws of the land.
Here are the other Republican candidates on the ballot in District 27. Chris Mapp, Scott Mandel, and Luis Espindola. Luis will join us in studio this Thursday on 25 News Now at 5. The winner there will face the Democrat who wins the primary election March 5th. Speaking of that election, early voting in Victoria for the March 5th primary election started Tuesday. The numbers from the Victoria County Election Administrator look like this. 279 people voted in person early Tuesday. 153 mail-in votes were received Tuesday.
And early voting in the primary election continues through March 1st. You can vote from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. all days except Sunday, February 25th, when the polls open at 9 a.m. and close at 3 p.m. You can vote at the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A.
A Victoria gun shop made the list of shops in the U.S. that sold the most guns used in crimes. Platinum Pawn and Jewelry, 2310 North Navarro, made the ATF list. Platinum Pawn and Jewelry told us that every 6 months they send to the ATF a list of pre-owned guns they sell. The ATF does a serial number check on guns that could have been used in a crime over 10 years ago. Platinum Pawn and Jewelry said they never know if the pre-owned guns they sell have been used in a crime. Every gun brought in has a serial number, and they said every gun buyer there has to fill out a form. They say they download all information to the Victoria Police Department on every gun bought there every day. Victoria County Commissioners discussed changes at the Victoria Regional Airport Tuesday. Commissioners looked at proposed improvements at the airport. The improvements could attract new industry and airport tenants. The building of a new terminal was proposed. Airfield pavement improvements were discussed, along with installation of a new sign at the airport. 2 local United Methodist churches lost their insurance coverage. KXAN reports about 300 United Methodist churches in South Texas were dropped by an insurance company. Church Mutual said they dropped the coverage due to rising costs and greater potential for hurricanes. First United Methodist Church in Victoria told us it was hard for them to find another insurance company, but they did find one and they are now covered. Telfner United Methodist Church also got insurance from another company after it was dropped.
A reminder, Wednesday, Crestwood Drive will close between Navarro Street and Main Street from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. for paving operations. All businesses and homes in the construction zone will remain accessible. The construction is part of the Crestwood Drive Phase 3 reconstruction project.
Oil and gas exploration company Devon Energy helped fund the 150th STEM learning program in Hallettsville. The programs offer hands-on learning designed to teach students how to solve real-world problems. The 150th STEM project was awarded today to Hallettsville Elementary. Stephanie Grumman, principal at Hallettsville Elementary, says the STEM program will take her students to the next level of learning.
We have an enrollment of about 420 students, so this just provides hands-on learning in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for all of our students.
Today, current STEM students demonstrated equipment such as a 3D printer and snap circuits, among other tools. Also, the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation is a partner in the STEM program. Leading us to your viewer poll tonight, you can scan that QR code on your screen to vote. The question is, are hands-on STEM programs effective in preparing students for real-world problem solving? Do you strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree? According to our results, it looks like strongly agree takes the lead with 82% of the vote tonight.
And we thank you for voting.
And tomorrow, a groundbreaking ceremony will take place at 2525 North Main Street for a new public safety headquarters. Southbound traffic on Main Street will be reduced to one lane from 6:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. due to the ceremony. The road will remain open to two-way traffic during this time, and businesses and homes in the area will still remain accessible. The groundbreaking ceremony will begin at 9 a.m.
The Texas Tribune has a report about how dangerous driving in West Texas can be. You can read the report on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so next time you're on YouTube, you can get Crossroads Today. How about that? Stay with us. The U.S. has blocked a resolution calling for a ceasefire for a third time between Israel and Hamas. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, the reason for the decision.
Also ahead, a man in East Texas is saved by gas station workers' quick thinking. For the third time, the U.S. blocked a UN Security Council resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. The U.S. voted against the resolution introduced by Algeria, while 13 other nations voted in favor. The United Kingdom did not vote. One ambassador defended the decision to the rest of the council members today, saying the resolution would not bring about durable peace or secure the release of hostages.
Proceeding with a vote today was wishful and irresponsible. And so while we cannot support a resolution that would put sensitive negotiations in jeopardy, we look forward to engaging on a text that we believe will address so many of the concerns we all share, a text that can and should be adopted by the Council so that we can have a temporary ceasefire as soon as practicable.
The U.S. says it will offer a different proposal for a vote that recommends a temporary ceasefire as part of the ongoing hostage negotiations.
An East Texas man is alive thanks to the quick thinking of strangers.
Now a family is preaching the importance of learning CPR to save others from a tragedy.
They said he was just laying on the floor at the gas station, so I didn't know if he had gotten immediate CPR.
On Friday, February 9th, Bruce Bartlett was making his routine stop at Zippy's in Longview during his Uber shift. What he didn't know was that the workers were about to save his life.
Because when he was turning purple, and I'm just like, should I do mouth to mouth? Like, I'm not sure, but I did it.
Bartlett went into cardiac arrest. Manager Brandy Sprague and workers at Zippy's quickly began to administer CPR until EMS arrived.
I'm just glad we were able to save him.
Yeah.
He scared us.
According to the American Heart Association, the administering of CPR immediately after a cardiac arrest can double or triple a person's chances of survival. These girls did just that.
When the ambulance pulled off, we, as a sign, if there's no sound, that means the person's dead. Like, as soon as we heard the siren go off, we were all like, yeah!
Bartlett's family now hopes to raise awareness for CPR readiness.
That's the reason my daddy's still here. And so we just wanted to highlight them and raise awareness.
Sprague concurs.
I need to renew my CPR pretty quick and in a hurry. It's changed just a little bit.
For Bartlett, nothing but gratitude for his new friends.
There really is angels on earth, that there's really people with some big hearts that care about each other and that will jump into action and try to save a life. And if that's just the little thing that we can spread on to someone else, it's all worth it.
JD Conti, KLTV 7 News.
Check out this massive water main break that happened in College Station over the weekend. College Station police shared video on social media of this towering torrent of water Sunday. In the post, police said roads in the area were closed down while crews worked to repair the leak. People who live in the area say while the main was down, the neighborhood had issues with water pressure. They say the main has since been fixed. Fix them, Aggies.
I'm sure there's some engineers out there available for all of that. Folks, we're looking at our high temperatures the next couple of days. Tomorrow we're looking at 77, then 81 on Thursday, and then a little bit of a cool down. Yes, 83 that's a cool down. We'll talk about that, talk about the front, talk about the 80-degree temperatures that we're going to have next week as well. All that coming up in a moment. Stay tuned. Well, good evening, everybody. 60 degrees right about now. Not necessarily very cold. In fact, a couple of days ago, we were in the 40s at this hour of the night. So it's not going to be as chilly. You may not need 2 blankets. I think one will be enough. Our winds, of course, turned to the southeast yesterday, and you probably saw the fog this morning. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have another big round of fog as well. And as we mentioned, 79 was our high today, 9 degrees above our seasonal average. Clear skies over all of our region tonight, and tomorrow is going to be a gorgeous day. I'm not, discounting that. I enjoy the weather. It's just that it's too much, it's too much too soon. I mean, we're in full-blown spring weather here, and theoretically, it's February. Now, on the West Coast, this big storm has really hammered the area. Today, we had rain from Las Vegas all the way down to San Diego. San Francisco, Sacramento, they got huge rainfalls. In fact, they probably have had already 10 inches of rain, and the storm is in the middle. I mean, it's not ending anytime really soon. Now, that storm front, the front will be moving to our area, but it's going to really weaken by the time it gets here. So, southerly winds bring up more warm air and more humidity off the Gulf, and so that by tomorrow morning, we're going to have some visibility problems. So here we are looking at 5 a.m., and you can see how visibilities will be down to half a mile in some areas. So 6 o'clock in the morning, still dealing with half-mile visibility. So you're going to have some trouble driving around, especially all my truck drivers that got to go to Houston and deliver. We're looking rather soupy weather in the morning. But the good news is that by the time we get to 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, it'll all burn off and blow away, and then we'll have a little beautiful day after that. The temperatures, again, will be on the warm side, 77 tomorrow and then 81. The front actually gets here on Friday morning. It's going to shift our wind around, but it doesn't have any rain with it. It basically is just a wind shift line. Overnight low temperatures, again, pretty much around 60 degrees tonight, which is about where we are right now. So don't expect a lot of chilling. And tomorrow afternoon, just gorgeous, looking at 75 to 77 degrees. You can see right about there. Now, the storm is expanding. In other words, it's not a really tight, compact storm, so it's kind of broadening out. But the front will cross the Rockies in the next day or so, and then finally get into Texas sometime on Thursday. Probably won't cross our area till Friday morning, but you'll know it when we get this brisk north wind coming out, a little bit cooler, but not necessarily, cold. Then high pressure builds in again. So we've got nothing to worry about in terms of weather problems. There's no rain for the next 7 days. Yes, I'm enjoying the sunshine as well. I'm just thinking, okay, if it's 9 degrees above seasonal average in February, what happens when we get to April, June, July, August? That's going to be interesting. Partly cloudy and a 75 tomorrow in Port Lavaca. In Cuero, we're looking partly cloudy and a high of 77. The 7-day forecast will show you lovely weather after that morning fog. Little less fog on Thursday. Frontal system on Friday cools us down just a little bit. But then by the weekend, which is going to be spectacular, by the way, if you have any plans outdoors this weekend, it's going to be a good one. But then we're back to 80 degrees by Monday of next week. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. And now here's Big Zach with sports.
Big Zach, Victoria East playing here in Victoria, and we had other Crossroads action as well. I'll have that coming up in sports. Regional quarter round in girls hoops, and the East Titans taking on Veterans Memorial over at West High School, trailing 20-13 at the half. They opened up the second half with a nice little run to make it just a 4-point game. That run was capped off by this Sanaya Randall to Avery Valentine floater, who splashes it home. Avery would actually hit a couple of those in the second half, and you can see the girls fought hard, but they just couldn't stay out of foul trouble in the second half. The Vets girls went to the line a lot, and the Victoria East season comes to an end. But what a year it was on the evening. Avery Valentine led the way with 13 points. KK Cleveland was a beast on the boards. It just was not their night. But the China girls were able to handle business against the Thrall Tigers, and they get the big win, 59-33. We now wait to see who their next opponent will be. It will either be Mason or the San Saba Armadillos. The ranked Hallettsville girls get the always tough Cole Cougars. Still waiting on a final score from that one. Thought we'd have one by now, but I did see a parent post that Cole won, but I'm still waiting on that final score. And the Cuero Lady Gobblers also had a great year, but not a great night. They fought at Fredericksburg 67-31, but this year they saw a lot of accomplishments. Head coach Amy Crane got her 200th career win. They got their first district title in about 6 seasons. The program headed in the right direction. The by-district round for the boys in Edna went to Goliad, and well, they're going to return with yet another gold ball. They are by-district champs, winning by a final score of 74-55. Harris led the way with 19 points on the evening. Caleb Caesar with 15 points and Markel Soto with 12 points on the night. The Yoakum Bulldogs in a close one over in Weimar, taking on the Merriam Bulldogs. Down 4 late, then they hit the layup plus the foul, but the free throw no good. Now less than a minute to go, down 6. 3 ball off the mark, right place, right time for Xavier Barnett, and he's fouled, but once again the free throw no good, and Marion just barely escapes. Yoakum's season is over. A few weeks ago, UIL realignment was a hot topic. We had some surprises and some moves, and one of those surprises right here in town. The Victoria West Warriors moved down to 5A Division II, but placed in District 13 with a bunch of schools that will make travel more than double what it has been. They appealed to the UIL committee and today got the word that they will in fact stay put, and their appeal has been denied. The West Warriors hoping they could be placed maybe in District 14 with the Corpus schools, but that won't be granted. Head coach Courtney Boyce reiterated a few weeks prior that Victoria West football will always be ready to work and get after it, but they're probably a little disappointed in not being able to get down to that District 14. And hey, we had a lot of games start pretty late tonight, so I'm still waiting on a lot of final scores. I know Bloomington lost, but we'll wait for tomorrow to have the full list of who's moving on and who's going home. Donna Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Zach. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we're going to take a last look at your weather with Mac. Plus, we have an update on that piggy who was tossed around like a football during Mardi Gras. Making history today, her new song Texas Hold'em debuted in the top spot of Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart. This makes her the first woman to have topped both the Hot Country and Hot R&B and Hip Hop song charts since the list began in 1958. 16 Carriages, a second single on her upcoming country album, ranks number 9 on that chart.
Hands up! Now that we have your attention, this satellite is expected to re-enter and largely burn up in Earth's atmosphere tomorrow morning. Its mission, which included observing natural disasters in remote areas, officially ended in 2011. It has an estimated mass of more than 5,000 pounds after depleting its fuel. The European Space Agency says some fragments could reach the planet's surface, but they won't contain any harmful substances and will most likely fall into the ocean. And we sure hope they're right about that.
No,
She said the 5,000 pounds was almost as much as Big Zach. That's what she just told me. That's what she just said.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all, they'll never believe me.
Well, let's move over to the big weather because
The big weather.
the big weather, spring has sprung.
We could have a big issue in the morning again with
Yes,
fog.
well, fog tomorrow morning.
Big fog.
Of course, some of us don't get up to see the fog. Some of us. No, I'm not. But if you're driving out early, just know the whole area, pretty much most of the crossroads, will be rather soupy in the morning with fog. But then it'll burn off by 9 o'clock and lots of sunshine will get us up to 77, 81 on Thursday, and then a slight cool down as the north wind comes in on Friday.
Thank you, Mac. And finally tonight, a piglet who was being tossed around like a football along a parade route during Mardi Gras is now safe and sound. The piglet named, oh wait a minute, is this a joke? Okay, anyway, the piglet named Piglet was rescued by a good Samaritan who saw him being tossed around like a Nerf football during the parade. The men surrendered the little guy to the Good Samaritan who brought Piglet to the Humane Society of Louisiana. The Humane Society says they have already raised about $1,300 by selling virtual piglet kisses. So remember, you throw the pigskin around, not the piglet.
Piglet. Poor baby. Look at him. He's so round.
Yes. Oh my God.
So round and chunky. Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join Carolina Astori and meteorologist Parker Cox. 25 News Now, sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night, everybody. Watch that fog.